welcome to this video. Yes, I've lured you in to a video about lures. So I am in the Canary Islands and I hope to visit most of them or all of them while I'm here. This is just a short video about the lures that I'm going to use in the upcoming videos. So first of all, I'm going to start with some jigs. Most of you are probably familiar with the jigs that I use in Norway, and these are basically the same. Only this year I've gone all out. It's my second year making these lures and I'm quite chuffed with myself because I've produced some beauties. So this is the smallest of the flutter jigs or slow pitch jigs I'm going to use. This is a 40-gram Lumi jig and it's got 3/0 assists on it. And that's just kind of where I start. And they come in varying different patterns, weights and sizes. I fish all the way up to 110 grams, which is this guy here. Very nice. And this is an 80-gram jig. Lots of different colors and variations on the same jig body. I also have some old favorites that I will be using, like this one here, silver and luminous. Just some shrapnel for some other seasons. This is a 110-gram flutter jig as well. And I also have fast jigs as well, which I have one here. It's a little bit dinged up. You'll get the idea from it. So that's it there. Actually, the last fish in the last video was caught in this. It was a palamed. A lot of people know it to be an ocean bonito, but if you Google ocean bonito and you really pay attention, there's like 3 or 4 different fish out with the same name. So they aren't actually the one fish. And the way you can distinguish these, most of them, is just by where the stripes are positioned and what dots they have. A false albacore, they call it a false albacore because it is actually a mackerel. A false albacore will have them just up here on the shoulder and will have 5 dots along its belly like that. Frigate mackerel will have the mackerel stripes towards the rear of the fish. And then there was the palamed that I caught in the video, and there's some others. But if you have textbooks, that's a better way to research these fish. Anyway, so yeah, he'd shoot the life out ahead of that and the assists on it as well. So I've got a whole bunch of these, ranging from 80 to 100 grams as well. And some other lures. Lots of different types of flutter jigs and everything else. So this season I'm planning on doing a lot more plug work. This is the smallest plug. Well, it's actually not the smallest plug I have with me, but this is the smallest plug for proper fish that I have with me. This is a 40-gram, and I get these on AliExpress. The hooks I tie myself. These come with trebles. I'm not fond of trebles. I do use them if I can't have anything else, but generally I just change them for that sort of thing there. Don't be afraid. This will work just the same and it won't crucify the fish, and actually it will hang on to the fish more efficiently because the hooks have autonomy, right? They can move. Whereas treble hooks, they can pull themselves out. One could be used as a fulcrum to lever the other one out. And that's another reason I don't like treble hooks. So on to more plugs. Yes. Now, these are plugs for bigger fish. I have a lot with me, so I'm just going to show you the ones that you probably aren't familiar with. But of course, a lot of people from around the world watch my channel, so you probably are familiar with them. But for the guys from the UK and Norway and Ireland and all the rest of it, here are some lures that are very commonly used around the Mediterranean and the Canary Islands. The next lure I'm going to show you is for barracuda and bluefish in particular. They like long lures and they like top water. So this is a 31-gram, 25-centimeter long cast surface lure, right? I'm going to change these hooks on it if I can, and it's produced by a company called Hunt House. You'll also find them on AliExpress as well. Very nice lure, walk the dog action. Barracuda and bluefish go crazy for these type of things. These are some new hooks that I've been working on, and I'm going to do a video on these later on in the year. Instead of these twin assists and trebles, I've kind of come together with this here. Now these are 2 live bait hooks, extremely strong, extremely sharp, but they have autonomy from each other and they can move separately, and less chance of damaging the fish and less chance of the fish unhooking itself. So that's kind of what I'm going to be working with this year. I need to make a bunch of them. I have a lot of hooks. I have to put them together. So there are a whole heap of fish here in the Canary Islands I want to catch on lures, and one of them is a leerfish, and it's quite an odd looking fish. It's got many different names around the world, but the closest to where we are is like the Mediterranean in here, and most people know it as a leerfish. Long lures again, yeah, they love stuff like this. This is a sinking stick bait, and a long cast as well. I believe that fish would be particularly interested in this, and I have it in several different colors: silver, blue and red. Yes. Other than that, there's poppers that I picked up in Japan. You probably won't be able to get your hands on them. I'll show you them in a minute. There is the off chance that I might encounter some tuna, and when I say tuna I mean bluefin tuna. I have already seen one myself, but it was so far off that I couldn't possibly ever reach it. So in the future I'm going to be bringing, when possible, if the climbing isn't too severe, to bring 2 rods with me, a medium heavy and a heavy rod. When I say heavy, I say PE5 to PE10. That means it's rated up to 100 pounds, right? You can fish it with a 100-pound line, right? And that will handle a tuna. Maybe not one of the Goliaths, but it will handle a 100-pound tuna, 50 kilos or whatever. And this is a bait from Japan as well. It's called a riser bait. It is a surface lure, but it does sink, right? It has many qualities. I picked these up second-hand actually in Japan. In Japan, it's quite common that you can walk into shops and buy people's less used lures, right? And you can buy them for half price that you would normally pay. And for a lot of people, this makes this sort of thing affordable. They're ridiculously expensive, even in Japan. This is a GT needle lure. Yes, they cast extremely well. You can fish them with trebles or a single on the back or whatever. And it's subsurface surface lure. You can skip along the top and fish just below the surface, or you can let it sink down to the bottom if you got the time and the skill, and just twitch it along. I've done very well with these with cullfish and cod up in Norway, and this is the type of water that they're actually intended to fish in, so of course I brought some of these with me. I have them in yellow and pink, both of which are UV, so they're really good to fish towards the end of the day. And of course, right, there's no fishing in warm countries without poppers. So these are actually really old lure. A lot of people would know them. That's a storm plug. A lot of people use these for bass. I mean, yeah, it's just a popper. Catch a lot of fish on it. But when I was in Japan, I had the opportunity to get my hands on some lures that I can't get here in Europe. And these are made by Shimano, and they're called rock poppers and rock slide. This one actually came with trebles, but when I can, I changed it for inline singles. And it's a beautiful bait. I wouldn't say it's got a rattle in it, but it's got a weight in there that's got rubber on it, and it makes a thudding noise. It's not a rattle, but it makes a thud. And it's got a little hole in its face there where it spits water out the top as well. Really nice lure. I've had a shot with it in Norway. Many hours spent trying to catch a halibut with this thing, but nothing ever came of it. And this is just another version of that. This is not a surface bait. This is surface to mid water. It's a beautiful little bait. They call this one the rock slide. I have added to it for fishing it towards the evening. I put loomy strips up the belly. I mean, you can do this stuff if you like. Does it work? Who knows? Same thing again. It's got that rubber weight inside that makes that lovely thud and helps it cast as well. They say they're long cast, but they really don't cast that well. But you'll get 40-45 meters out of it, really, if there's no wind or something like that. But a beautiful pattern, beautiful mackerel bait, fantastic action. And again, when it comes up to the surface, it's got the little scoop in the head that will spit water for you. Fantastic thing. I imagine this will do very well for me if I can find some fish feeding around the surface. Now, apart from those riser baits, this is what I've got for tuna. I don't have that many with me because the chances that I'm going to come across one are slim and none. But if you're not ready, you're not prepared, you're not going to catch. We start with this little top water lure here. No rattle or anything, but it is UV reactive. You fish this in the evening and it's a walk the dog kind of a thing as well. Where I consider lures to cross over, or when it's something big enough for smaller fish and big enough for big fish, is something like this here. And it's quite an odd lure. I have an inline single on the bottom there, and I'm messing around with something. The middle connection here has got a swivel on it, so most likely my head says that it won't fish an inline single. It will just turn sideways and become useless. So I'm either going to put those double hooks on it or a treble. Sometimes you just can't avoid these things. And I've got one big popper. I mean, if they're feeding on the surface, there's not a tuna in the sea that will turn its nose up at this. So inline single on the end, another swivel, yes, treble, or one of those doubles that I showed you. And then last but not least, now just right, don't fall out of your chair laughing, right? But you never know, one time in my life I actually might get a chance to use it, and it is this thing here. Wood boom. Fantastic, right? Look at that bloody hooks at it. If I ever come across the fish that eats this, I think I'll just leave these hooks at it, really. Will I ever use this? Probably not, but I got it fairly cheap. It's a really nice lure, and I don't really care. It's just fun to have with you anyway. That's just the tip of the iceberg as regarding lures for this trip. So, I'm Billy. This is Billy showing you the tackle. Wherever you are in the world, remember, I'll see you on the beach. Bye.